Welcome to the Seed Group Podcast. And now, part 2 of our interview with writer, actress, director, and producer, Anah Ambuchi. You're tuned into the Seed Group Podcast. We're here to inform your mind and expand your horizons for a better life. I'm Carla. I'm a vocalist.
Hi, my name is Rochelle. I play the saxophone.
I'm Norman, and I'm a keyboard player.
Albert Anderson, guitarist. And if you want to see any of us, you can come to South Lawn United Methodist Church, 8605 South Prairie Ridge, Sunday morning. Or if you need our services, call 708-351-0333.
And to backtrack a little bit, doing the movie, what was the casting like? Were you, did you have a say in casting?
Yes, I was a part of the casting. Me, my acting coach, and my mom were all in the casting room.
Oh,
I think
okay.
we put it out on Actors Access and
I know that one,
backstage
yeah.
to like call people out, to call people to come in. And then we had people from Alabama, Michigan. We had people all over auditioning for the main role, because the other roles
You get paid?
no.
Oh,
But you know what?
the movie is enough, though.
But you know what? I just looked up, and you are on. You have an IMDb profile, and so I'm pretty sure that they were very happy to include that in their own profiles.
That's
so.
true. I just have one quick question. Where's my invitation?
We didn't get an invitation.
To what?
To act. Go ahead.
So what was that like? You know, you're actually having to cast somebody that is going to be portraying you in your story. What was that like picking that person? What and the person that you picked, can you give us, that person's name and what did you see in that person that you said, that's the one?
That's me.
Okay. So when I was casting for it, we had it in Chicago, and we had all these people come in to audition.
Self-tapes.
We had self-tapes first, and then we had in-person audition.
Oh, they said
So
you
reading out those,
Yeah, we had self-tapes, and then we had to pick which ones we want to come see come in. And, we saw all these people that we liked, and then we brought them in. And then before that, we didn't see the person that we picked yet.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think there was one night when we came home, and then we saw this other self-tape, and she was doing a monologue.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole self-tape was a drama monologue, and she was crying.
Oh, wow.
wow.
Crying.
Wait.
And her name was Alea Woods.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like, Mom, we gotta bring this girl in. I like her. We gotta bring her in. And she's from Orlando, Florida.
What?
So, yeah, we...
She came here?
Yep. Came here.
Okay.
Give somebody else a chance. That's
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. So we brought her in, and then we gave her a slide of the dramatic scene, where it was breaking down and all that. And she did it excellently. It was like, wow, I'm pulled in. Yeah, that's what I wanted. And then I'm like, after talking back and forth, I'm like, she's the one. She is the one. Because, it was exactly me. I saw her in me. I saw how I felt when she did that scene.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, that's me. And then when we got to know each other on set, I realized that we are exactly alike.
Wow. Okay.
That's why you picked it.
We are exactly alike.
Yeah, but you also, because we invited her twice.
Yeah, we invited her.
Okay.
We had to make sure, her and Anah meshed, because, we wanted her to understand Anah's mannerism, who Anah was. And the first time we invited her, they clicked. They were like sisters. It was like a really good bond, And we brought her back in again, and just the bond.
For a chemistry read with the other cast
So
members.
she did her thing. The girl did her thing. We feel like she deserves an award for
nice.
that.
Give her an award.
Excuse me?
Maybe you can give her an award.
Yeah. So the plan is to. They really don't. Yeah, we'll probably create one, but we do want to submit her for an award for the film.
Or we can just make awards and then give her.
We could give her.
Make it the
I think it would be
award.
nice if we can submit her for
Oscar.
2020 awards.
Yeah.
Because I think
I'm planning to get a Grammy in 2021 for my new CD.
And I want to be invited because I want to go. Because I don't know if mine's
We're all-
gonna, I don't know if mine's gonna make the cut.
We're all
Planning on
working,
getting a Grammy or
Yeah, wow.
claiming it?
Claiming it.
but we're all working on our separate projects.
Yeah,
She's working on her
yeah, my
song,
singles, yeah.
and she's working on the new book she just thought about. She's working on. Norman's just thought about a book that she reminded him of that he has already. He's working on, and he's working on his song. Then he wrote a song for our sax player, which is Rochelle. She's not here, poor baby.
We miss you.
We miss you. But he wrote a song for her sax. And I just completed my CD last week. Now we're in the stage, I'm writing the credits and everything, who wrote what and all that stuff. So that's the reason I'm saying that's beautiful, because you have to do it, and then claim it, and then
Yeah.
let it take you where God wants to go.
You've encouraged me,
That's
honestly,
what I
really
think.
have.
That's what
You've
I think.
encouraged me. And to really, go for not only what I desire to go for, but things
Right.
that are personal to me that I need to pursue, that I'm maybe too afraid, or I'm thinking about the obstacles and not really thinking about the outcome. So,
You're a great role
thank you
model.
for that. You are a fantastic role model for any age, so I really do appreciate that.
2 questions. First question.
Yep.
Should I just look at it? Anyway. Second question.
Okay, next.
As a result of this movie that you made and the success that it's had, what has come from that point?
That's a good question.
What has come from that point? I just learned to know that God is on my side and to know that I am awesome.
Yes, you are.
From all this success, I was like, look at this. I made a film at 11 years old, and look at this, all these people, and I'm winning all these awards. And it's like, oh, look at this is awesome. And then, because I remember there was, we were in Dallas for one of these film festivals, and the African Film Festival, and I knew I was nominated for Best Young Talent. And I'm just sitting there the whole time, just like, I don't know, mommy, I don't know if I'm gonna get it. I don't know. And then when it finally said the nominees for Best Young Talent, they said my name in the film, and then they said the other ones, and then when they said, and the winner is Anah Ambuchi, I was like, whoa!
That's beautiful.
But it just comes to show how, through my hard times, I've come out on top.
There you go.
It made you stronger.
It made you stronger. Well, another question I have, because this movie is so powerful and it really not only touches, a nerve about bullying and how you can overcome it, but there are other people that have seen this film, other young people that have seen this film. How has it affected the lives of those that have seen it, and how has it affected your life hearing those stories?
I remember when one school got accepted the film into school. I think it was a charter school, and after the film was played, all these hands went up, and they all had questions, and they all had things to share. And then when I saw all those hands, I'm like, all these kids are being bullied too, and they have something to say. And it was like, it struck to me like how I inspired other kids to, ask questions and, make their.
You have copies that you send to people, or how does it work? Does she have copies?
Of the film? No, because it's
How's it work?
in film festival
Festivals.
circuit.
We have to wait
We have to-
till after all of the film festivals that we're going to are done.
The season?
Yeah, and then after the whole season is over, and then
Well, Trump will
after
still be in office when you finish. Send him a copy.
he'll still be in the office. I thought election.
No, the film
It's
festival
still-
goes for
Yeah,
a
it's a
year.
cycle,
A circle is a year.
Should be done by this year, the end of this year.
Yeah, so
It'll be done.
send him one, because he'll be in there for a minute.
Well, and the interesting thing about it is, because you have children that are skipping school
Yeah.
because of bullying. Parents don't. A lot of parents don't know their kids are being bullied.
160,000 kids miss school each day.
Exactly.
Each day.
Each day.
Mm.
Yeah, each day. And like I said, technology is now playing a part. It's still not as big as it could get. See, that's the thing that really bugs me, because we know technology is so prevalent and kids, on social media, and what could be done to kind of stop the flow before it gets out of hand, they're not doing it. And so it's small, but it's starting to rise. And I mean, people are taking to social media to bully their, Twitter, all of this kind of stuff. And there needs to be a stand. And like I said, I was another statistic they were talking about was how it decreases. It starts off in elementary, that's the biggest, and then it peaks in middle school, and it starts to decline in high school. But they said verbal abuse remains constant. That's the one thing that never changes. And there are so many things that go into it. But I'm glad that you're starting where you are with a film that reaches kids, like Norman was saying, it reaches children where they are, and they're not having an adult say, okay, this is this and this is that, here are the statistics and here are the numbers and all of that stuff. They have somebody that's their peer that can speak to them, and that means a lot, And I'm hoping that once it finishes the circuit, that, people will, schools will accept it, definitely churches, because, I'm amazed by how many churches you have, kids.
That's what I was thinking too. The churches should love it.
Yeah. I think we showed it at our church.
And what was the reaction?
Everyone was just looking at me like, what? Well, the pastor's kids, when Pastor Reed was a pastor.
Oh, yeah.
His kids were just, the young one was literally looking at me like, every time some bad word was coming, he's like, this really happened? I'm looking at him like, yeah.
Well, because we're going to show a clip of it.
It's the trailer, actually.
The trailer. We're going to show the trailer.
We're going to show the trailer on the podcast, and it's really something that even from the trailer that people that watch it should really think about. If you have young children in your family, friends that that have children, period, or even themselves that need healing because they've gone through bullying, because there are even kids that have adults really that have gone back to high school, to elementary school, and that pain is still there. And you have bullies that were bullies then, and they're saying, I'm really sorry, I was young. And people go, I still don't forgive you, because that pain is still there.
Because I actually apologized to somebody. I never thought I was bullied until they mentioned something that I did. And I laughed. I said, well, you actually started. I didn't bully you. But the only reason I was asking about the trailer, because this way when people see it, they can like it, they can subscribe, ring that little bell so they can go on and get stuff like this, because we're always doing something different and interesting like this, the young lady.
Yes.
And if they like it, share it with a friend, share it with somebody else young that needs to know about the bullying, so they can actually look at the trailer and then they can like and subscribe to our podcast.
Yeah, and and we really like featuring very interesting people, and you are a very interesting person, and so is your mom. Mom too. And we love it when we see people who are liking, commenting, and subscribing. We know that you're hearing it, you're hearing what we have to say, the people that we are presenting to you, and it just makes us go even further to say we really want to put more things out there. And I wanted to know, have the school that your daughter was at, have they said anything?
So
Now
they no.
They you tried to find a really diplomatic way.
We were. It was interesting because we were told by somebody, CPS will never play your film. Those are the words we were told, and we're like, what? Like, that's exactly where we plan on showing the film.
that's where it needs to be played.
They won't show it, not
Believe
because of
God,
the
I
religious
like the bad
content.
word.
That's one issue, but because it's about a CPS school.
And they don't.
Because this happened at CPS.
Exactly.
And
It's happening all.
Right.
Exactly, but CPS is image.
Right.
And
Yeah. So we were told that, and so we did approach the school after it was done to see if they would show it, you know, after school, LSC, PTO, whatever, giving people the option to see it, like just put it out there if they want to come, not forcing it as a school assembly, you know, they wouldn't do that.
And see, I think it would have been more courageous of CPS to do this and say, we're recognizing that there is a problem. Here is one of our very own that made a film about this, about her pain, about her problems, and we're acknowledging and recognizing that fact, and now we want to do something about it.
You would
Well,
think,
part of
right?
the problem was bullying stays so much is because adults have this ostrich.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to. They know that they're guilty. You know, they've got proof in this young lady right here telling them. You know, you telling them, and I'm sure the two of you weren't alone. There are other ones telling them that this sort of thing is going on. But rather than deal with the truth of the matter, they want to stick their heads in the sand and pretend it's not there. And they're really the ones, administrators, I'll say, are really the ones that keep this curse going.
It's an administration issue.
It really is, and it makes a huge difference when they become involved, because we know, as we talked about, zero tolerance, it doesn't work, expulsion doesn't work. And when you have people, be it, especially when you're in school, because you spend so much of your time in school during the school year, you know, they need to be involved. If you know, because it starts, even though teachers have so much on them, it does start in the classroom. And for students to be able to trust their teachers to be able to say something, even if the teachers don't see it, to say something is going on. If the teachers see it, they need to be proactive and then let it go from there. But that's not happening in a lot of cases. And I applaud teachers that take the initiative and that get their students to trust them, and their students feel safe enough to say, I'm being bullied. This is going on and I need help.
Well, let me know when you're going to be on Catholic Radio, 950 on the AM dial. Brother Deacon Cook is the one that has that program, and he would be more than happy to interview you on the radio. I'll talk to him, and then if you ever decide you want to come to our church where we're playing at Norman's church that we're playing at South Lawn, 8605 South Craig, Pastor Dwayne Craig, he would love that. He would actually love that. Because he's the type, we actually saw a film Sunday.
A clip of The Pursuit of Happiness.
Right.
Yes.
And he's that type of pastor that's trying to do more with the youth in the area for the church, and bullying was an ideal situation. The topic to talk about.
And she's becoming, let's say, sort of like on the road to superstardom.
Just Anah.
Oh yeah, well, and that's the part I like.
You keep her friend.
Oh yeah, that was the other thing. No. The thing that I admire also is you got this film, and it hadn't entered into your head to say, okay, let's get this where I can sell it. You know, get money and bring it into cash. Cash. You know, with this film, I'm gonna get rich, but you didn't go for that, and that's
beautiful.
That is, you know, and I wanted to bring that part out is because, you know, my daughter here that I'm stealing from her is so well grounded that, you know, the first thing that hit you was not the money you can make from this, but that the people that you can help.
Right.
And I want to applaud you for that. And then I want to applaud your mother because she's helped make it. Okay, carry on.
I did wonder. Well, two questions. How do you protect her from the business of movie making and because I'm sure you'll learn.
We had to make a production company.
I like that.
There you go.
There you go.
We had to. So we went in really blindsided. I mean, it really. It was like, Mommy, I want to make a film. Why? You know. Okay, fine, we'll make a film. And so when everything was all said and done, it was written. It was good to go. We casted it. Did we even film yet? Yeah, we filmed. Yep, we filmed, and we had just a little bit of some issue where it was kind of somebody trying to take the film from her. You know,
And I am not shocked.
so we were like, what? Like, how could you try to take the film? She wrote it. She directed it. She did what? And we had to learn. She had to learn. It was really sad for me because Anna had to learn the business in 2 months. Like literally, it was a crash course. Bill Duke became one of her mentors, and he still is.
Awesome.
And he has been tremendous in just like helping us really understand how to navigate the industry, because he said to me, he said, here's the thing. Actually, when I called him, I was like, can you believe somebody said I think on this film?
Yeah.
He said, welcome to Hollywood. That's
Yes.
the first word. And I said, what? And he's like, let me tell you something. Even if you're working with your mama, you need a contract. Even, you know, and he's like, this is kind of how it is. People in Hollywood will take your stuff and they don't care how old you are and just keep moving.
Yeah.
And so we had to learn. We had to learn, how do we protect Anna? How do we protect her to keep her content and everything? And that was what it was. We had to create a business production company under her name.
But like, how can anyone steal the film? Because what if someone asks, why did you do the film? They have nothing to say because they're not the ones who wrote it.
They'll lie.
But
My kid went through this. My relative went through this.
Just came to me one day, you know. And ironically, you know, did a film about bullying and got bullied by Hollywood, you know. And
yeah, it was really sad. And so we really didn't know. Now we're much smarter. We are absolutely much smarter. You know, Anna's working on a couple new projects.
Wonderful.
And we're going in with our heads like We didn't understand that producers own everything. We did not understand that. We thought because she wrote the thing, it was hers. We thought that she directed it. It was like, no. So we had to now start changing everything, contracts, all that. Created a production company for her to claim the film. You know, it was like we did all the grunt work, and you know, so it was interesting. And so, you know, with that, it's like this business, it's not for the faint. It really isn't. You do because they come at you. They're like vultures, you know.
They smell blood.
Yeah. So we're very, you know, I'm very grounded. Like Anna, if she says she's an actress, I turn down auditions depending on what it is. Like, no, she ain't doing that. We're not that desperate.
Well, here's my question.
Somebody else can go audition for that foolery.
If you don't mind me asking, on the actress side of it, what are some of the parts, if you don't mind me asking, you don't mind telling, that you turned down?
Well, I have turned down some scary stuff because I just, you know, don't fall for that, depending on the scary. Like, that's just my whole rule. There was one time where, and I think you were like 7, I don't even think you even understood this, and it was based on a true story. It was a really good content, but the story was just, I was like, nope, you can have fun with it. It was more of like this little kid was being molested by their brother, you know, and and I'm like, not this kid, no.
So, that's
we're not at that age where we're about to start talking about that, you know. And so, but you know, for the most part, her agent is pretty good. We've been with them for quite some time, so now they know like what Anna will go for and what she won't go for.
But you're her greatest advocate, and that makes the difference. Because
we're not. See, the funny thing is when Anna, she would tell you, I just like acting. Like, it's just, I just love it. Like, it's not because the money. That is not in it for her. From, you know, the more we get into the industry, the more we meet other kids, and they're on a whole another level. Their mind is like, we're trying to get this money, and we're like, whatever. What's meant for her is meant for her. We just keep moving, you know. And so her mindset is completely different from most people that we meet. It's just more like, I just love this. Like, she doesn't even call it a job.
No, I call it fun.
She's like,
yes, I love that. I love that.
You know, when I turned 16, I want to work a movie theater. I'm like, You don't think you're working now? No. What do I do? You act.
You're having fun.
Oh, that's fun.
But see, but that is awesome when you find something that you love to do.
Yeah.
9 out of 10 times, it is more fun than work.
Yeah.
You know, so that is absolutely awesome, and I love the fact that because you are an actress, but you also wear different hats, and you have your own production company. You have a lot of power on what you put out there and what you give to so-called the masses, and you can make important films just like what you did with this one.
Do you like history?
Yes, history is my favorite subject.
So,
Yes.
Because you are creating history.
Yes,
Thank
you
you.
are.
That's what I was saying.
Was it Masai Martin from Blackish?
I saw the movie twice.
Yeah, who did Little. I mean, you are just as important, just as valuable, and just as interesting as anything that she has done and she is going to do.
Marcus, what was your other question?
Yeah.
The other question is, being a woman of color, have you found women of color? Have you found outlets? Because it seems like it's the time for women of color to, like you just mentioned, the girl who created Little, Issa Rae, and other people coming up, being productions, being producers,
Their own
bosses.
yeah.
Have you found any outlets to kind of mentor you or kind of help you or maybe even stamp you to take you to that next level of what you need? Or are you looking at somebody or you have a mentor?
I see the light bulb going on.
Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Bill Duke.
Bill
I knew
Okay.
that.
Bill Duke.
Yeah, I
I was gonna say, I
He's
know that
an
name.
awesome. Bill Duke
Oh, yeah,
is
Bill
an
Duke
awesome
Yeah,
person.
actor.
Yeah, he's an
Yeah.
awesome actor.
You know his face, but
you
the
know his
name you
face.
can forget.
Yeah.
Yeah, once you see his face, man, you know,
Oh,
I'll
that's who that is. Yeah.
do you recognize? Do you now have the face in your mind?
Oh, one line comes up to when I hear him.
Oh yeah, right. No, you don't. No, you don't.
You know you didn't.
You know you don't. No. He did a little remake on that not too long ago. But I think, so, I mean, she has people in the industry who are, I mean, I think she's just forgetting a lot of people. I think Bill Duke is always like, he's always calling her every week. He calls every week, texts us, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Miss Josie Stacker, my acting coach.
Yeah, her acting coach is there. And, you know, she's came
My
on.
cinematographers.
Yep.
Our cinematographers.
Some few people.
We might need them.
Yolanda from Cannes.
Oh, yeah. Miss Yolanda Brink.
Y'all have to come back when we do our live show, and we're going to put it on Facebook and YouTube Live in September.
In September, yeah, because you're a live one, yeah.
It'll
Because
be
we
here.
would love
We're
to
inviting
have you
everybody
on,
that's
yeah.
been on our show before. We're going to invite them to come in for a little segment during the live. Probably, an hour or so? Maybe a little
Yes.
bit less than that. But it's going to be live. It's going to be fun.
Let us know when.
Fun, yes, we will definitely extend the invitation. Like, 'cause I am just absolutely thrilled to meet you, to meet your mother. Just just absolutely very inspiring, you know. And I just can't wait to see where you're going from here, because this is already huge, you know.
Beautiful.
Just
So
absolutely.
proud of you.
You know, I used to say that
That's
about.
why I'm adopting.
You know, I used to
Adopt
say.
me.
You know, I used to say about Thurgood Marshall when he made the Supreme Court, that was an asterisk. You know what I mean? Because he had done so much. You're doing so much. You know, by the time you get wherever you get to as you rise up, that'll be an asterisk because you're doing so much now.
Stay close to you, Mom.
And stick close to your mom. That's your confidant, your best buddy, your guide, the one that's gonna keep you grounded. You know, when people are like, "You're a star," don't look me in the eye. You know.
No, she gets really uncomfortable.
I get
When we
really
got to
uncomfortable.
Cons, it was hard, like, because, you know, her name was already out there. I mean, she was on a cover with, like, Spike Lee on it. You know?
Right. Oh, now we're talking.
So we're walking around and people are looking at her. Mommy, everyone's looking at me.
No, everyone was just like looking at me like they know me. And every time I sit down, people like just staring at me like
It was
I
great.
don't
Like,
want you to stare at
yeah,
me.
they would really, like, she would be split. So it was like this, they would walk this way, Lily turn. It was just like,
They would stop, turn around,
till one lady who was bold enough, like, can I have a picture with you? It was kind of, but that stuff makes her really awkward because, you know, most people do it for the fame and all that.
Yeah.
This one doesn't. She could care less.
That's the way you do it.
That's the way
Right.
and that, you know, that's the way to do it.
Love
That's
what you're doing.
Yeah, and you love what you're doing. And that's what keeps you grounded. But that's stuff that you're going to have to kind of get used to, and because people feel that the more you're out there, people are going to feel that they know you, and they don't, but they're going to feel that they know you, and that's something that I hope you never lose your human touch. I hope you never lose who you are, because there are people that truly are like, don't look them in the eye, call them, miss, I'm sorry your latte was not hot enough, so always keep that human touch, because that is something that, when you meet people, like how they say, when you meet the people that you look up to, that's always one of the biggest fears, that they don't have that human touch, and so when you find somebody that has that humanity and they have made it,
I have a role model, Zendaya. She's very humble.
Yes, Zendaya. I love her. Zendaya, I absolutely love her. And we'll talk about that. That's a different subject.
I always think about Ron Howard.
Yeah.
Because he's been a star since he was, 6, 7?
Oh, yeah, 4 or 5.
And then when he got older,
he was Andy Griffith.
When he was in black and white.
Yeah.
And when he got older, he was still acting in Happy Days and some other stuff.
Yeah.
And then as he got older, he always wanted to be behind the camera.
Yeah.
And that's what he does now. And when people talk to him, it's almost like one of us sitting there talking to a friend.
Yeah.
And I watched his interviews, and it's just like, I grew.
Yeah.
It's okay. I love what I was doing.
Yeah.
I never thought about it.
But you appreciate it. It makes a difference, because there are some people that they are, pounding, no matter what, part of life they work in. They're, it's the job, and they don't enjoy it.
Right.
And you can a lot of times tell on their faces they don't enjoy doing what they're doing. But it's awesome, and especially to see you discuss your craft in your movie. It's lovely to see your face. This is why we're going to start filming this stuff, people. But it's lovely to see your face and to see how joyous and how you light up when you talk about what you do. That also means a lot, and I am just ecstatic to have met you. And then when you get too big, I'll just be standing here going, hey.
Your CD be out by then.
Do you have a dream role
that's good.
Do you have a dream role you would love to do, to act in? And do you have a person you would love to direct or produce in a movie? Like if you were the director or producer? Or write a movie for a character, like a special actor or actress.
Like who would I like to work with?
Work with, but on the directing side, you're directing them, producing their movie.
Lupita Nyong'o.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow,
yeah.
Yes, and she also has a movie coming out. You know what I love about her?
Is it the zombie movie?
Yes, and I just saw the trailer.
I saw the trailer. I'm like,
it is the weirdest thing.
It's the weirdest thing ever. She's like a teacher taking these little kids out to a field trip.
Yeah.
They see zombies, and then she's like, ah!
Well, like the one where she gets you, she takes out a zombie,
I've seen
and
this.
they see all the stuff on her yellow dress.
Yeah, they see all the blood.
Yeah, it's jelly. It's jelly. Don't taste it. But I like, that's a wonderful choice, because she does a variety of movies, and it doesn't seem like the Oscar has changed her at all. And she seems like she really loves what she does. I saw an interview that she did, and she seems like she's just her, you know what I mean? What you see is what you get. And okay, so let me ask you this, because let's circle back around to Zendaya. What are some of the things, qualities about her that you said, okay, yeah, her, I would like to work with her. That's a person that, look at. I know you talk about her realness and all of that, but is there anything else?
I also like her acting.
Go figure.
Well, she is moving out that Disney kid role, which actually surprised me.
I like Shake It Up, but I only like Zendaya on Shake It Up. It was like, no, just Zendaya. Bella, I don't know. Zendaya.
Yeah. She had that spark even then, and you have the same thing. And where you see somebody and you're like, everybody else is there, but you kind of like, okay, that person, you know. And like I said, and just like I love how she's a role model, I love how you're a role model, and with role, and that's another thing. Being a role model carries a big responsibility, and it is a lot of weight because people then look to you and what you do and all of that stuff. And I believe that you are and that you will continue to carry that well. You know, and especially having you, Mom. You know, that's a big. I am all for parents who are not stage parents, who really want the best for their child. I'm all for that because I have read horror stories, because I read a lot, and I read horror stories and it's like, how could you? And so like I said, I truly appreciate that. And so you're doing the circuit with the movie, and great things that are coming and continuing to come from that. You've got other acting projects on the board, new movies that you are looking to get out there and produce and all of that stuff. So when it comes to the casting and different things that you're doing, so you do open casting calls, right?
No. Yeah, for the short film, it wasn't. It was closed. It was invite
closed.
only.
It was invite only.
Yeah.
So will you continue to do that?
No, I think from what we discussed, if
We're having someone take over.
we would like
Awesome.
to take over that piece, you know what I mean? Because it's a lot. Like, it was our short film, so we did everything.
Mm-hmm.
But again, because we learned the business, we
Yeah,
learned a
but I
lot.
like crash course.
Oh, there's somebody who does casting. You know, like,
Like, that's somebody else's job.
We've been know that there's someone who does casting. There's someone
sure, we can do that,
someone
but it was just more like we can give that burden to somebody else because that casting piece can get to be a lot. So it's more
It's
like
not a video.
yeah,
a lot of videos.
People
Yeah.
that don't
and not
work.
only that, for
And then
us,
there's some
it was,
videos that make you sleep
It
too.
was right.
Okay.
It was also kind of because she's in the business. Some of her friends.
Oh yeah.
Oh, no, I got you.
Auditioned for her film.
Yeah.
They didn't get accepted, and so the relationship started changing.
Yeah,
so now we
they were
realized
really
who was
upset.
really her friend, and who really wasn't. So there were some who didn't get accepted, and they still love her, but there were some who were really bitter, like going online, like bitter.
Back to the bully.
Back to the bully.
Yeah, but it was so crazy because you just knew that they were talking about you, like indirectly throwing shade. It was like,
People automatically think because we are close friends that they're gonna hop right in with you.
Right.
well, and another thing too, we had to keep making it clear, although it's being made by a child, a student, it is not a student film. It is not a student film.
It's business, and that's what people have to realize. I watched the show one time, and it was fictional, but the guy was a movie critic, and he was dating this woman who was an actress, and he had to review her film, and they were really tight. He was thinking, okay, we're going to be together and married, and he's sitting in a darkened theater. He's going, please don't be terrible, please don't be terrible, please don't be terrible, and she was awful, and he had to make the decision of and he was hoping that what he said would keep the relationship, but once he told her how bad she really was, the relationship was over. It was over. But I mean, people have to realize, I've seen things where there were fathers and sons that were, you had one that was the director, one was the actor, and like they said, this is business. Home is home, and this is business. And the best thing about that is sad that they were throwing shade and stuff, but you found out who were really your friends and who weren't.
We did. We found out very quickly. Very, very quickly. So.
Because I mean, it's like somebody should have said, "You can't act." Okay, I'm sorry. I know you wanted to do this really badly, but you can't act.
I know.
It's wonderful to see that. It seems like you have really, by pouring your heart into that film, you become stronger. You become stronger. You regain. You've taken back your power. Which is absolutely awesome. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I see the look on her face when I remember back, days older, and she has more of a clarity in her face. She's like more of a determination, like she knows where she's headed and everything like that. And so, that's why I'm stealing her and her mother.
And I hate for this to end because I am having an awesome time, which is why you all have to come back for the podcast, because I am having a wonderful time. And our viewers, our listeners, because there'll be viewers soon, our listeners, that you are going to have a chance to see this wonderful trailer, and we're going to put it on, and you're going to get a little bit more of her background and bio, and it's just a pleasure. And Norman, why don't you take us out?
Well, Marcus had a quick question.
Marcus, bring the
I
question.
don't have a question. I kind of want. Can we end with a game?
Okay.
Because I wanted to ask her her favorite movie. First thing that comes up, she can think about it, but I want all of us to go in a row. Just
Like
first thing that comes to mind.
like 2019 movie from 2019.
Whatever movie
It can be
is fine.
any era,
movie.
anything.
But the first thing that comes to for us is the first thing that comes to our mind. By the time it gets to her, she hopefully she'd have thought about it.
Okay.
So I'll go first. My first movie is Purple Rain. That's
okay.
It might not be my
I can
favorite
see
movie,
that.
but it's the first thing that came to my mind. Go.
I'm trying to think of the name
Pressure.
of it.
Give us a description.
Anything you can think of.
It had Christopher Reeve
Superman.
Superman.
No.
Yeah, that's
and
Okay.
Christopher Reeve.
Somewhere in Time?
somewhere.
Love Somewhere in Time.
Somewhere in
Yes,
Time.
that's one of my favorites.
well, I hate to do like this, but originally I thought about Star Wars. Then I thought about It's a Wonderful Life. And then when he said that, my favorite movie, to be honest, is Philadelphia Story.
Okay, you told me that
Sorry
over and over
about that
again.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, even
True
though
story, yeah.
it happens.
Yeah, it happens, yeah.
Well, the first one that came to mind is Shaka Zulu.
Okay.
Ah,
Yeah, I like that too.
That's a good one.
Okay.
That's a good one. Cinderella, not just any Cinderella, Brandy Cinderella.
Okay.
That is the one.
Now the pressure.
Okay, here it is.
Your turn.
Okay, this is a movie I would watch all the time with my grandma. Coming to America.
Yes. And they're doing a sequel.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
Nice.
coming out. Yeah. Well, we're gonna see, because that's a discussion for another date. But I've heard the synopsis of it, and I'm not crazy about it. So we're gonna see if it changes by the time they get to production, or if they keep it like that and how they explain it.
We should discuss sequels. Like, how do we feel about sequels? That'd be
That is, yeah.
They do that. Like there's these like movies where like the first movie is better than the second movie, and then you get disappointed by the second movie.
Yeah.
Like Pitch Perfect. The first movie was great, and the second movie I don't know what that was. And the third movie was just like, why a third movie?
Money. Okay, that's how much money. We don't have any money to pay for the rest of that. So, but that's the thing. When it comes to sequels, a lot of times, like Men in Black, when they made the second one, the director's like, it's not time. We need to hit it while the iron is hot. We need to strike while the iron's hot. And so they just put it out. And very rarely am I, blown away by a sequel. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is an exception.
Okay.
Because that was good. But also the person that wrote the first one, wrote the second. He had this whole envisioning, so that helped. But Lion King 2 was terrible. Toy Story 2 was good. Lion King 2 was terrible.
Yeah.
one of them Rockies. That Rocky series.
Oh, the Lion King was that, but that was the sequel.
Toy
That was
Story
great.
2 is everyone's favorite.
It was good.
That's what I said.
Yeah, but Toy Story 3, I really like that too, because it should have been the end. Really, yeah, it should have been the end, and it's right.
There's Toy Story 4.
Toy Story 4.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible.
You see,
Yeah, they said it flopped actually.
My friend was like,
all his
Don't see it. Well, I read the synopsis of that, because yes, I will see a movie and then I will read about a movie in the synopsis and I will go see the movie. But the third one was such a beautiful finale, and
That's what I thought.
yeah, and this one actually, from what I've read, this one looks like I smell another sequel. So just because of how it ended
with 4.
with 4, just because of how it
According
ended.
to Tom Hanks, he's done with it.
And
But then again, sometimes when he talks,
Yeah.
but according to him, him his interview. He said he's done it. He said it's draining.
Yeah.
The way they make him act, the boy, whatever, the toy, without any emotion.
Yeah, it's kind of.
It's a lot for him.
You
He's in the studio for like hours doing it, and it hurts.
And I really, because he said it, I hold out hope that will be the end. Because, like I said, the third one was such a beautiful where the toys were passed on, and it was, and he's moving on and all that kind of stuff. But when it comes to making money, studios are kind of like, like Men in Black International. Why? Okay. I know we have to wrap up. So one of the things that we would love to stress, likes, comments, and subscriptions are love, and and ring that bell so you will know when we have new episodes coming up. And like, comment, share, and subscribe. And after you see the trailer for this movie, we would really love to hear a lot of your comments. And next week, I do think we should talk about sequels because I have a lot to say about this. I have a lot to say about everything.
Here we go.
But Norman, you want to take us out, sir?
Well, again, I'd like to, in behalf of the Seed Group podcast, extend our thanks for these two lovely ladies.
Yay!
And we hope, I know that you enjoyed this because we did.
Uh-oh. Well, what's going on?
And so, I don't even know that part. But planet for them. Oh, right. Okay, there we go. See, this is not my usual category.
You're doing a beautiful job.
So, I'm going to ask both of you.
Thanks for we have so much fun.
See, we always talk about planting seeds of wisdom and watching it grow in other people's lives. So, what you have growing? Well, that helps her more.
Continue to grow.
So, what seeds of wisdom do you have that you would like to plant, let's say, and watch it grow in somebody else's life? Which one do you want to go
I'm
first?
trying to think.
Because the movie is already a lot.
Oh,
Yes.
Yes.
I read this in Dark Girls.
Okay.
You're royalty dipped in chocolate and unapologetically black.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
I mean, I would just say, to anyone listening, is stay humble, stay kind, and stay true to yourself.
Yes.
No matter what may come at you, stay true to who you are, whatever that may look like.
I like that. I like that.
Oh, mommy.
Well, this has been another full. No, go ahead. No, yes. And like I said, we're going to be filming soon. Stay tuned. But this has been absolutely awesome and amazing. I've had a wonderful time, and thank you both for joining us. We all have had a wonderful time. We're looking forward again to having you all back for the live podcast.
And I'll have the adoption papers.
And thank you to our listeners for listening in. And as we always love to say, plant a seed and watch it grow. Bye-bye.